Hi, my name is Sam, and this is a story about my mom and dad, Marguerite and Dariush. My mom was born in Tehran to a Christian family. She is the oldest of three siblings. Her family served in the church in different areas, and the kids began their service on the worship team at a very young age. Years later, she began teaching children, young adults, and youth at the Sunday school and eventually got involved with the project of translating the Bible into Farsi, as well as numerous translation projects for Iranian ministries. My dad was born into a Muslim family along with two sisters and four brothers. He converted to Christianity in his late 20s. Being alone in his decision, it was difficult in the beginning as he faced backlash from his family and started receiving threats from the government. He still stood strong in his faith and started attending the same church as my mom, where they later met, got married, and gave birth to my brother Danny and me. Being an artist and a chef, he served many unforgettable meals and brightened up the room with his art in many homes, parties, and events without expectations. He has also evangelized to Muslims by sharing his life experiences and how he came to know Jesus. The church was our safe haven in a predominantly Muslim country, and we participated in different groups in our church weekly. In 2010, after an election in Iran, the government started cracking down on religious minorities, especially Christianity, and began the persecution against the church and specifically Muslim converts. The atmosphere was unsafe and unstable. One night, my mom had a dream that God asked her to get our family out of Iran before my brother and I reached the age of attending mandatory military service. With God's grace and the help of many friends, we were able to leave Iran for Austria just 8 hours before it was too late. After 9 months of presenting our case, we were finally granted entrance to the U.S. as refugees and came to Connecticut, where distant relatives agreed to sponsor our family. We found a home at Cornerstone Church and have been members for 11 years. While my brother Danny and I neared graduation from college with our bachelor's degrees, my dad and I started our own family business, catering Persian food to Connecticut residents and organizations. Things were going great after 4 years of being in business until the pandemic happened and everything went downhill for our venture. The aftershocks of the pandemic led to a rising cost of living in Connecticut and eventually made it unaffordable to live the same lifestyle we have been living for the time we resided in Connecticut. Our family was left with no choice but to dissolve the business. My parents decided to travel to a select few different states where they had long-term friends and search for a more affordable place where they can be close to a community they are familiar with. This year, they decided that Tulsa, Oklahoma is where they can find a home, but moving has had its challenges and many expenses. Not only have Dariush and Marguerite served their whole lives inside and outside the church, but in all the years we resided in Connecticut, they opened their home and have offered their helping hand to many newcomers who left their homes to find a new life in America, just like us, regardless of their religion, age, or race. They created the best memories and made a huge impact on anyone who stepped into their home and lives, and made them feel like they are in their second home. God has introduced a new chapter in their lives, and we know He has great plans for them in Tulsa. They have faithfully and humbly served God, the church, and their communities with all they ever had. I believe that it is time for them to feel the love and support of all the people they have served in all the years, regardless of how big or small that may be. With their permission, I'm starting this fundraising campaign to help them with the cost of this transition. This includes the cost of travel, furniture, and basic necessities. Thank you so much for spending the time to hear their story. Please do not feel obligated or pressured to give. This is an opportunity to serve. So let God guide you on how you can help. Let's help them make their new house their new home.